You've been lied to, my friend. We live in a society with constant propaganda, and we don't understand that just because we're in the United States, just because we're in a free country, does not mean that we aren't victims of propaganda as well. The media will detract from, American propaganda by talking about Russian propaganda or other countries or Chinese propaganda or whatever country. But this country is one of the greatest perpetrators of this, especially in recent times. I remember when I was in high school and all of this crazy agenda was being pushed on me. Ridiculous stuff that I thought in my mind was crazy because I'd grown up in a traditional household with traditional values. And I started to hear all of these wild statements being thrown at me, about gender and all this stuff. And, atheism, they were anti-religion, and it was all weird to me. And I, for a while, fell victim to it. I started to believe what they were telling me after a while because, when you are constantly told something is right and something else is wrong, you actually start to fall for it. So I started to fall for it, but always in the back of my mind, there was something that was telling me, you know what, maybe this isn't right. I've always been someone who questions what people tell me. I don't just take it as matter of fact. For example, when I was in a classroom one time, the teacher goes, "Who believes that the moon landing was real?" Whole class raises their hand. She says, "Who believes the moon landing wasn't real?" And I kind of just like half put up my hand, not because I was hesitant to say anything. And then she goes, "Okay, Blaze, please explain why you think that is, why you think it might not be real." And that's exactly what I said. I said, "I don't know if it's real or not, but it might not be real because I don't have any evidence to know whether it was real or not, right? I haven't studied the moon landing. I don't think anybody else in the classroom had studied the moon landing either. But nevertheless, they were so sure. They were so sure that the moon landing was real because they'd just been told that. That was just the societal narrative. That's what the media said. That's what their parents said. That's what their teachers said. That's what everyone thought. Therefore, they thought that too. They didn't do any research on the moon landing. They weren't there. The truth is, they don't know if it's real or not. They just decided it was. They just decided it was. I've been a constant questioner my whole life. I like to go against the narrative because I know that so many of the things that I've been taught, I found out were wrong. Or I at least found out they were more nuanced, right? Like they're talking about things like it's matter of fact. Meanwhile, it is very opinionated and they're pushing their opinions so hard on you and calling your views evil, right? If that's not authoritarianism, if that's not propaganda, I don't know what is. I don't know what is, right? One side, majority view, the other side's evil. It's a dangerous thing we're living through right now. Our society is going down a bad path where people can't even have discussions if they disagree with one another. That's because the pendulum is swung so radically one way that now I feel the tide is shifting and the pendulum's swinging the other way. And it's going to swing to another radical end. And that won't stop unless we can actually come to the middle and, have some kind of semblance of, I guess, agreement on topics, but I don't even think that's possible anymore because we are just so confused now as a society. There's no values. There's no reconciling on certain topics because the views are so radically different. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here in the United States, in the Western world, this propaganda machine we're living in. That's why I've already been thinking about my next destination that I'm going to live at in this world, planning it out. And at the end of the day, guys, you can't escape the propaganda machine no matter where you go. I think it is better here than most other countries because at least we have freedom. At least we can see other sources of media. Look, I know a lot of the big tech platforms, they censor things, and that's been very contentious in Congress and big companies like Facebook and Twitter and all these social platforms and Google, and they've gotten in trouble for censoring one side of the political argument. I think that's going to be something super dangerous and already has been. I think it's influenced elections, certainly, how the social platforms acted during the elections. It's wild. It's wild to think. But I know it is the same in other countries. They just have a different way of perpetrating their propaganda. Over there, it's blatant silencing by the government of certain forms of media that speak out against the government. That's cool. They can live however they want in their society. I'm not judging it. But there are certain societies in this world where I'm starting to think, I might prefer how they operate over there. I might prefer that. So I'm already planning my next spot. And I suggest you put some thought into this too. Look at where the future of the world is going. What areas of the world are on the rise, and in what industries are those countries on the rise in? And going there, heading over there, jumping on the wave, be a part of a growing rather than a dying society. That's just my thought. But anyways, guys, don't fall victim to the propaganda. Don't listen to everything people tell you. And if everyone is agreeing with something, but you inside feel weird about that, then something's wrong. Something's wrong. That you're around a bunch of people who have been manipulated. It's crazy to believe that there's so many people who have been totally manipulated by the media, by what their teachers have told them, by what their parents have told them. So be a skeptic. Right? All the people who are successful in this world were skeptics. They were told that they couldn't do something, that they were crazy for what they believed in. And guess what? When they go out and succeed, they always end up not looking like the crazy ones anymore. And everyone forgets that they were the crazy ones at first. They forget that they were the ones calling them crazy. They were the people calling that guy crazy. And now they're calling him brilliant. How fascinating is that? So always question it. Why do people believe that? Why do people believe that? And just say, you know what? I don't have enough evidence to believe that. Don't just follow the herd. And that advice has served me well because I remember me going down the traditional path and hating it deep inside and questioning it. And thank God I questioned it, because ask the right questions and you'll get the right answers, my friend. I want to thank you for watching today's video. Join a community of young men who are leveling up, who are winning. First link in the description, the Discipline Institute. I hope you enjoy it in there, and I look forward to seeing you inside. This is Blaze of Cyan, 4:30 in the morning, signing off. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.